Like, I get you don't want to think that your audience is too smart, or you don't want to spoon feed them the story, but in this aspect, you are, ugh, like, you are so unclear in your motivations or your intentions or where this is going. As a larger picture, where is the story going? Because they're all connected. Where does it go? And if they're not connected, we know that there is the main American Horror Story universe that we saw take place up until Apocalypse, when Mallory went back and started a separate timeline from there. We know that 1984 has to have taken place in some other timeline, because when Mallory went back, she only went to 2015. She couldn't have affected anything from 1986, or I'm sorry, 1984. And even if the events from when she went back to the early 1900s had something going on in Russia affect the Night Stalker and what he was doing in LA decades later. Like, it started with one character in 1984, and now it feels like the AHS universe is just kind of imploding on itself, as Ryan Murphy does, or as Ryan Murphy shows seem to do. There's just a point where it seemed like critical mass happened, and either there was too many ideas, too many chefs in the kitchen. It's like the potential wasn't explored in a way that gave them merit to happen in the first place. If you're going to have an anthology show, make it an anthology show. Have them just, this is Murder House's world, this is Asylum's world. And you could do whatever the hell you want in a universe like that. It's like the Twilight Zone tried and true method of just reset everything at the end of the episode. You can have the cast come back as different characters, but then when you have Lana Winters showing up in Roanoke, that means Asylum and Roanoke are now connected, and I can't remember all of the ways that they connect right now. But when you have the idea as it is initially presented as this is an anthology, they're all going to be different, and then well into the show itself, you then decide to change your mind and say that they're connected. And whether it was to please fans or to try and be, oh, yeah, I fooled you guys. For one, we can't take your word for anything, because there's the possibility that it's going to change, and that could be for better or worse. Could be changed in a good way. Like all of these connecting, it's not that it's a bad thing, it's that it was sold as one thing and then we opened it up and it's something else. Some people were more about the idea that this is all a connected universe, and that's fine. I would be for it as well if it was the intention from the start. But it seems like things kind of change on the fly, and being a person who is like that myself, I could see why it is frustrating for other people, because now I'm seeing it and it's frustrating to me. But it doesn't seem like there's a good reason for it. Richard Ramirez in 1984, he got brought back just because there was no reason for it. There was no, we have to have him because of this and we'll make it work. It was just done. No reason, no giving a shit about how it's supposed to make sense. The fans of the show, like the fans watching, are what keeps the show going. Us being present for each episode as it comes out is a result of us falling in love with the show as it was up until this point. But it feels like the more of a fan you are and the more you know what Ryan Murphy has said, it's like you've got more trepidation about actually getting any kind of an attachment to something, or the show has so much of an attachment to some things that we don't go anywhere new. We keep circling back on ones that we've already seen. So at some point, it would have been nice to know if it was self-contained. If not, just let us know. Like, as a diehard fan, it wouldn't be frustrating to go back and watch them all or know the behind-the-scenes stuff, because we know that stuff contradicts itself. And we watch every season start off with such potential, and then it flounders by the end for the most part. And I'm the kind of person who I can overlook those flaws because I love the show. I know that some aspects of it are bad, but I love it regardless. And that's what makes me make videos like this, is because it's just frustrating to see happen. There are possible fans who they're getting pushed away before they even have a chance to get into it, because they're hearing from long-term fans like me how the show started off one way, it seemed like it had direction, it had, like, there was fun to it. And I mean, every season there is fun to, don't get me wrong, but It's too much trying to like jump through hoops, trying to make excuses for the story when the story should just present itself as it is. Like, I get you don't want to think that your audience is too smart, or you don't want to spoon feed them the story, but in this aspect, you are, ugh, like, you are so unclear in your motivations or your intentions or where this is going. And we're, as long-term fans, watching this ship get steered into, we don't know. Like, and I'm seeing interest, it seems like, dropping off, at least as far as American Horror Stories goes. As far as double feature, everybody's just kind of waiting, like, well, let's see how it gets screwed up, because chances are it will. My hopes with the fact that they've had over a year since there was an American Horror Story that's aired is that they've had a year to write it, to get the story down tight, to nail down everything that they want about it before they even started production, so that there's not, where the episode airs in 2 weeks and we still are writing it. I'm excited for double feature. I can't wait to see what they're going to bring to the table as far as lore. They have a shorter run of episodes. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a little bit more hesitation when it comes to what to expect is all. As a long-term fan, I don't know how to feel about that. I chose a hell of a time to start making videos about this.